It's Chelsea versus Lincoln City, the quarter-finals of the Europa League, the Battle of Britain. And that is probably a whole lot more dramatic than it actually is. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we have got two huge games in the Europa League against Chelsea, and then one big one against Arsenal in the Premier League. Arsenal sitting second in the table at the moment. Since you were last here then, we played West Ham in the 6th round of the FA Cup, picking up a nice win there. They got a consolation goal right at the end, but we controlled that game for most of it, which is very nice. And then we came up against Manchester United and unfortunately lost 4-2. It looked like we were going to have a bit of a comeback late on, but unfortunately we didn't, so we lost 4-2. Don't think we've ever beaten United, actually. Past meetings, no, never beaten them. So one day it will change. It's just not happened yet. That one loss in the league, though, does put us down to 7th now on 54 points. However, we do have a game in hand on Southampton, who are 2 points ahead of us, and 2 games in hand on Liverpool, who are 6 points ahead of us. So potentially, with 2 wins in that game in hand, we could actually go ahead of Liverpool back into 5th place, which would be quite nice. We need to focus on today's game, though, and that is Chelsea and Lincoln at the moment. Of course, there's quite a few big ties going on in this game, actually. Arsenal, West Ham's another big one as well. There's 2 English sides guaranteed to be in the semi-finals, actually, which is pretty cool. I'd obviously like to see us go through. I'd prefer West Ham to go through rather than Arsenal. And then I'd like to see AEK go through because they've got Facundo Vieira. And then I'd love to see Roma go through as well because we beat them 5-0 in the group stages. So I feel like if those teams that went through, including us, that would give us the best chance of basically winning it. This is the lineup for today's game then. Barish Urza starts in goal with Masevic and Ferreira starting on the fullback positions. Kobayashi and Garcia come into that central defence on the grounds that, of course, Patino is now suspended for the next 2 games, obviously, because he got a straight red in the last episode, didn't he, against PSV. Benteke also got injured in that last episode. He's just come back from it, but of course, looking at this, he's not physically ready to get back into the football. So Kobayashi and Garcia combine. Jalapeno and Mertens retain their central midfield positions with a pretty basically a usual look attacking 4 there of Gomez, Diaz, Despacito and Hammer Time. Right, kickoff is upon us here today. We're starting at Stamford Bridge in the first leg, and this is an absolutely huge game. We sort of have the advantage here on the grounds that Chelsea have had a really poor season. I think they're sitting 12th or 13th in the league table at the moment, so they've had a poor season. So I'd like to think that we'd be the side on top and the side getting the wins today. We have beaten them already this season, I believe. I'll say that. We've probably lost them twice now, but I'm sure we have beaten them this season now. But they're starting to come forward now. They look like they're going to have the first chance now as Iwobi puts it into their striker, who hits the post from distance. And that was a bit of an early warning sign, actually, from Chelsea. Perhaps we need to tighten up at the back a little bit. Garcia and Kobayashi, not the greatest of centre-backs, if we're being honest with ourselves here. Kobayashi's just not improved, basically, since we got him. He's just always... they've scored. As I was complaining about our centre-backs, they've gone and scored, which... Kobayashi picked up a 7th yellow card of the season. He got a free kick in like the exact same place, which is a bit worrying. They're trying to bring it forward once again, our Chelsea. Kobayashi tries to clear it. I think he does, actually, just gets a clearance on it, and now we've cleared the ball up. And is Diaz going to get there instead of Courtois? No, Courtois collects it. As I was saying, though, Kobayashi barely improved since he joined the club, which is a bit annoying. I don't think he's really cut out to be a Premier League footballer anymore, which is a bit weird. And then, of course, Garcia just never really improved since we bought him for £9 million as we hit the crossbar. How unlucky. Yeah, Garcia was a player that we thought was going to be it. We thought it was going to be a star signing at the centre-back in our first season in the Premier League. However, he's just flopped, basically, as Gomez now picks up an injury. Now, what's wrong with him? Potential groin injury. That could be a little bit dangerous, and they have to take him off at half-time. I want to leave him on for as long as possible. Just sort of see what this condition number goes. It's going up right now, so hopefully he's not too badly injured, but if it doesn't go any more than 69, then perhaps we probably should take him off. I mean, we've not played very well so far in this game. I'm going to go already demand more from my players because we've been an absolutely free-scoring side in the Europa League. We're the top scorers in the Europa League for some reason, obviously, for a reason. For whatever reason, though, that's not happening today, and maybe that's because we're playing against Premier League sides and, we don't usually score that many in the Premier League this season. Jalapeno's free kick. Awfully close there, but didn't manage to go into the back of the net. Well, half-time, we're 1-0 down. Even more boring is Lyon and Roma, but the other 2 games are very, very exciting. AEK and Lazio 4-3 at half-time, and West Ham and Arsenal drawing 2-2. Now, of course, there's 2 legs of this, but I'd love to get an away goal as we approach that, because I think an away goal really gives us a bit of an advantage. We've not played very well today. I should have done the team talk myself. I gave it to assistant. I always do this. I always just automatically press it now, and it's annoying because sometimes I really do want to talk to them and say something like, "You've been rubbish." Probably be a bit more heavy than that. As Hammer Time gets in there, 25 seconds into the second half, puts us level with Chelsea. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. I didn't think we'd get that far in the Europa League. I thought we'd get to the quarterfinals at most. However, I think seeing this now is we've just cleared a decent ball there from Chelsea. Well won't move. We've cleared it now. We've got a chance to counter-attack now as Diaz puts it through to Hammer Time. Can he get past his man? He does. Oh, hits the side netting. As I was saying though, I think now we're at the quarter-final stage, which I thought we'd probably get to. I thought that'd be our limit though. Seeing the teams that are left in it, I'd put money on us reaching the final. If we face Arsenal in the final, for example, I don't think we'd beat Arsenal. But then again, we said that last year about Tottenham in the League Cup final. We beat them, didn't we? So we have to just find out what happens, basically. May have big game players. They may have players that just can't dig big finals or something like that. I don't know. But Chelsea coming forward now. A fantastic tackle there. And Kluivert, a shot from distance wasn't quite good enough. And Marseillaise makes a save. Right, I think we're going to make changes now. Gomez is still struggling out there. So I'm going to bring Jimenez on for him as an inside forward on attack. Despacito not played too well, so we're going to change the wings completely. And Lacasic, who wants to come on the pitch, will come on for him. And we may change to central midfield later on, but I think for now we'll keep it as it is. Chelsea now trying to come forward, but have to play it from the back as we try and keep our high level of pressure on them actually. And they've managed to get it out towards Iwobi, but he's given the ball away cheaply. Kobayashi puts a great ball forward to Jimenez now, who stays in possession. He manages to keep it somehow. I thought he'd lost it then. It's played back to Kobayashi, but we try and work it forward once again. Just working the space, getting it through, and now Mertens is through. Courtois with a decent save though. Right, with 20 odd minutes to go, I think we need to bring someone who's going to change the game completely. Someone who's going to give someone the look with their crazy eyes, and they're going to go a bit crazy themselves and then just let us win. So Crazy Eyes are going to come on the pitch for Jalapeno. Doesn't look like Crazy Eyes is having the effect though immediately, as he's been on the pitch for a few minutes now, but we've got a chance to come forward. Lacasic's ball though, not the best, and Kurt Zuma plays it back to Courtois now, who tries to reset the Chelsea attack, clears it upfield, but it's not won by their player as we've almost won possession back, but Christensen now on the ball, plays it back to Courtois again. So again, Courtois with a chance to come forward now. He's dawdling with it. I really thought that Diaz shoot. Why did Diaz not shoot there from distance? Mertens on the ball, through to Diaz. Diaz hits the post. Oh, and that's the second time we've hit the woodwork today. We're unlucky. We've been unlucky in this game, to be fair. We've really come back into it now, and we've got a few minutes at the end of this game now, obviously, to try and do that. But the momentum is in our favour. If we can grab a goal at the end of this tie, that probably could see the tie off, although Iwobi, luckily, didn't have his shooting boots on. Right, Marseillaise then has possession of the ball forward, clears it up towards Jimenez, and actually gets there. Jimenez, well done, fair play, puts it into Diaz, Diaz into Mertens, Mertens into the back of the net, get in there. I actually thought that could have been offside then, because I'm sure I saw the assistant do something. Usually they stay still, he didn't move then, but it's not offside. I don't know why it would be offside, but we've actually gone ahead in this game, and that's what I said. I said if we got our noses in front at the end of this game, we'd be in control of the tie. And I think that could seal things off. I think if they come to our place, they're not going to score a goal. We should have Benteke back by then as well, which would be very nice. Jimenez puts a cross in late in this game, though. Courtois now with a chance to try and start something for Chelsea, but his ball is rubbish. And now we've won possession back once again. Crazy Eyes plays it through to Diaz. If we can get another one, that just even more kills it off. Hammer Time hits the post. Still more highlights in this game now as Masovic puts it forward to Diaz, but Zuma gets in the way there, plays it back to Courtois. Courtois' ball once again not very good. Ruben Garcia can start to work the ball forward. Diaz on the ball, he's through on goal. 3-1. 3-1! I mean, there's still more highlights to come now, and they've just given the ball away once again, Chelsea. If we can go on the other end and score, we're semi-finalists. If we get one more goal, I guarantee we are semi-finalists. 4-1. I can't see it. I can't see Chelsea come back into this now. Cannot see them getting back into it in the second leg. And there we go. Chelsea 1, Lincoln City 4. Incredible stuff from the boys there. Really, really pleased with that. I just can't see Chelsea getting back into this game now. Obviously, there is still one more tie to go. There's still a second leg, of course, but I can't see them scoring 5 goals to overturn our 4 away goals and things like that. So it's not going to happen, Chelsea. So we've made a few little changes for the Arsenal game. Benteke is going to get a start today for a little while, but we'll take him off at some point just because I want to rest him. But want to get some match sharpness back into him. Bacholk comes on that left-hand side, and then Jimenez also starting as that winger, or inside forward he actually should be, because Angel Gomez picked up a knocking last game, so he's still recovering from that just a little bit. Kick off again then, and as you saw, we're playing a more defensive formation because Tottenham, we're not playing Tottenham, we're playing Arsenal, aren't we? Arsenal sitting second in the table, so a decent side, so I think it's probably wise that we go slightly more defensive, although saying that they're coming forward right now. Jimenez with a very, very weird clearance there. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do with that. Can he get a tackle in though on this guy? He can't, so it doesn't matter too much. And we're playing on the Sunday, which means that Liverpool and Southampton played on the Saturday, the day before us, so we've now got the games in hand on those two again. They won both of their games though, so I'm starting to think if we don't beat Arsenal today and win the rest of our games this season, 5th and 6th probably aren't looking likely for us. And actually, if we slip up in a few more results, perhaps Everton and West Ham, probably not West Ham actually, but Everton, have a chance to catch us up a little bit. Well, it seems very much like the Chelsea game, this one so far. Arsenal have been in control for these first bits, but we're starting to get our way back into it. Hopefully in the second half we'll really take control of the game, of course. But like the Chelsea game last time out, we were rubbish until like the 80th minute, and then we scored 3. Jalapeno on the ball for us now. It looks like it's our first highlight. As I say that, we've lost possession now, and Suarez can put it through to Chris Round. Chris Round beats Benteke, and Chris Round puts a dagger in our hearts, and perhaps a dagger in our opportunities to try and qualify for the Champions League. At some point we were level on points with Heroes in 4th. We're now, as things stand, 11 points behind them. So you can see how quickly things turn around. And at the rate things are going, we may not even qualify through the league for the Europa League anymore for next season, of course. Obviously, we're still in the FA Cup, so we could win it and get a place in the Europa League via that. However, if someone from like outside the top 7 goes and wins it, then that'll probably shut us out of the Europa League for next season, unless of course we win the Europa League this season and get Champions League. Chance for us now, perhaps the first one of the game actually we've seen in the highlight, is Jimenez on the ball in the area with an incredible shot, puts it in the back of the net. It's now 1-1 all of a sudden, and we're right back in this game. Half time then, 1-1, not bad. We're going to say to the boys, unlucky so far. A few of them seem motivated by that, perhaps it was the wrong way to go, but I think we have been unlucky in this first half so far. That's a lie. I've literally said to us we've been awful, haven't I? I've said on camera that we haven't been very good. So I don't know why I said unlucky to the boys, because we haven't really been. I mean, nothing's happened in the second half so far, other than Arsenal being on top. They've had loads more shots than us now. We've not had a shot in the second half yet, which is a bit worrying. Although we've just won possession of the ball now. Jimenez with a chance to put it forward to hammer time. We've got numbers arriving with him. Mertens is through. Mertens, 2-1. Get in. We just have to protect this lead now. Really, really protect it. We're going to take, arguably it's a stupid thing to do, but we're going to take Benteke off because we do want to rest him for the Chelsea game, of course. Saying that though, we'll put a pause on that right now as Arsenal come forward. Barış Özil, incredible save. Tactics-wise then, Benteke will come off for Garcia on the grounds that we want to rest him and things like that. I reckon we bring Despacito a bit further back. I would say bring Jimenez back, but I don't know who we can play there. Can Gomez come on for like 10 minutes on that side as a winger on attack, for example? I think that might just be a bit more defensive for us, and we'll go to not control, definitely go to counter. I reckon that could be the way forward for the rest of this game. It may just protect our lead for us as Jalapeno makes a nice interception now, and Barış Özil clears his lines up towards hammer time, but he doesn't win it, and now Arsenal with a chance to build once again through to Rodriguez, puts it wide. Hopefully there'll be no more highlights now for the rest of the game, but I mean, I can guarantee a 90th minute equaliser for Arsenal now. Right, Arsenal coming forward now. Rodriguez has been put through wonderfully, and it's 2-2. Wasn't 90th minute, 76th minute. 90th minute winner for Arsenal now, I can guarantee that. I feel like now we have to put Gomez back up there, Despacito back up there, and not be in counter, or should we? I reckon we stay counter now, but not very fluid. I didn't mean to do that. Flexible still. We'll stay on counter like that. We've got pace. Maybe that'll work for us. Barış Özil's possibly injured. That is awful. But he should be okay for the rest of the game. Of course, Nicky Reynolds has just come back from an injury, I think. I think he has at least. So he would be able to play. However, he's not played football for months and months and months now. So I'm a bit worried to start him in a huge Europa League game next time out. As what did I say? 90th minute winner for Arsenal. 90th minute winner for Arsenal. I mean, Despacito's put hammer time through. He's fluffed his lines. And there we go. Arsenal 3, Lincoln 2. 90th minute winner. That result potentially could mean we're going to have to kiss goodbye to Europa League football, of course. Looking down the table, though, Tottenham are the only big team we've got to face now until the end of the season. Liverpool sitting in 5th. That could be a huge game, the final game of the season. Whoever wins that, potentially. And Southampton as well. We've got Southampton too. They are going to be some huge games coming up, which is a bit scary. Yeah, Marseillaise out for 8 to 10 days. We'll leave him to the physio with that then. What that does mean is I hope Nicky Reynolds is fit again. I really hope he is. He is fit again. And actually, he's not looking too bad. So Roma and Lyon played a day early, and Roma won. So they're going to semi-finals, and we know that we can beat these team, Roma, 5-0. So that's a good sign. That's good news for us, surely. Good news for us. Right, we are back to this same lineup that we had for Chelsea in the first leg, other than Benteke now slots in where Garcia was. But other than that, it is the exact same, and hopefully the exact same result, or at least a win. Anything, but as long as we don't lose, I'll be fine with. Right, kick-off is upon us, and we are 90 minutes away from being in the Europa League semi-finals, which is incredible when you consider things like that. So watch Chelsea now go and score 4 goals or something like that. It would be ridiculous, as I thought they were going to get a penalty there in the early seconds of the game, but they've not, and Despacito can now sort of clear the ball. I say that, he's lost possession now. Chelsea can come forward again. Are they going to get a goal in these early moments of the game? Jalapeno says no, and now actually we've got a chance to come forward, although I don't know why I'm getting so excited, because I say that, hammer time, go on son. Saved by Courtois. Just remind you as well, in case you want one, the linked t-shirts that came out yesterday, they're in the description down below. I did forget to put it in the description yesterday for like an hour, but it was there in the end, and it's be there now, I promise you. So if you want to get a t-shirt, make sure you do that in the description. I mean, this first half's been boring, but if I'm honest with you, that's fine. As long as there's no goals, I mean, I'm not fussed. All the games at half-time, currently 0-0, which is a little bit weird. But, you know, it's good for the teams that are winning, at least. Apart from the Arsenal-West Ham game, because it was 2-2 draw. And actually, they missed a penalty there as well. They missed a penalty in the last game as well. So Arsenal, they could have gone through easily. But they've missed 2 penalties in 2 games now. Will that come back to rue them? And will West Ham manage to go through on away goals? Potentially. Would that be good for us? Most definitely. Because West Ham are much easier than Arsenal, as we showed in the last game. Because Arsenal beat us, didn't they? Hammer Time's been forward early on in this second half, and he's gone and bagged a goal. It's now 5-1 on aggregate. There's no hope in hell for Chelsea to get back into this now. No hope. Hammer Time's been on fire this season. He's got over 40 goals in all competitions now. I think at least half of them are coming in the Europa League. I know he's got at least 20 in the Europa League, which is crazy. So that must be at least 21 now. So he's just incredible. Marseillaise picks up his 16th yellow card of the season. Incredible stuff there. It's always the left backs in my sides that seem to just get so many yellow cards. Hammer Time makes it 2-0. As I was saying though, the left backs, who did we have a few years ago that was rubbish? He was an Australian guy. He's my arch enemy right now, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is really annoying, but he got ridiculous amounts of yellow cards in that season we had. I think he probably spent as much time suspended as he did when he was playing. Gersbach, that was his name, Alex Gersbach I think, and he's the bane of my life when he was at Lincoln. Really just a love-hate relationship between him. Loved him because he's such a weird comical character that we love to hate, but at the same time hated him because rubbish. Chance now for us to grab another goal as Gomez has been put through by Diaz, puts it into middle, Hammer Time, grabs a hat-trick. He is my favourite player I've had for a long time, Hammer Time. Really is possibly one of my favourite players I've had for a long time. There's been some decent ones in recent years, but I've got to say Hammer Time, he could be number 1. Ferreira picks up an injury actually towards the end of this game now. We'll take this opportunity to make those subs actually, but Bardi will have to come on for Ferreira. Hopefully it's not too bad. Despacito has sort of lost form recently in the past few games, so we're going to maybe start Lacasic in the next couple of games I think. So we'll make those 2 changes on that right hand side I think. What injury has Ferreira got? Head injury, so it's probably concussion, so he's probably out for 2 or 3 weeks of that, so I'd imagine. Chelsea now with a chance to come forward. Reynolds makes a very impressive double save there to keep us. I say keep us in the game. It was over in the first leg basically when we won 4-1, and now it's just sort of routine stuff getting into the game now. The corner comes in for them, and they're trying to get a consolation goal, but it's been put over the bar. It's not happening, Chelsea. Not happening. 20 seconds to go in the game. Is there a chance for us to come forward once again? We've lost possession there, so I don't think there is. It's just the routine. Clock ticking down highlight basically for full time. 10 seconds to go. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we've done it? It's 3-0 on the night, 7-1 on aggregate. We just don't do things by small margins in the Europa League. Everything in the Europa League at the moment is we're just winning it by huge margins. It's incredible. So Lazio and West Ham go through along with us and Roma. AEK unfortunately knocked out for Vieira, couldn't do the business. But at least Arsenal have been knocked out, and that is huge. 64 goals we've scored now in the Europa League this season. 64. That is insane. I can't believe we scored that many. It's nearly double what Middlesbrough got last season, and they were the top scorers in the Europa League. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ferreira's out, as I said, with concussion, 2 to 3 weeks, so that's not too bad. We've got Bardi who can play there. Let's go through to the semi-final draw then, see who we're going to face. Is it going to be another Battle of Britain against West Ham, or are we going to have to face Roma again, or a new side in whoever else went through? I can't remember who it was now. Lazio. So here we go. Is it going to be England v England and Italy v Italy, or is it going to be Italy versus England? It's going to be an interesting one either way. Draw the next team. Roma versus Lazio. It's us versus West Ham. Now that is huge. It sets up an England-Italy final, of course. West Ham are a beatable side as well. So, without trying to jinx it, I'd fancy us to get to the final, really. That's what I'd do. Now, I have to decide what games to play next episode. This is a bit of a 9th episode of the season. And it's usually we don't even get to 10. So, we're going to at least do 10, and it could be more. I think then, perhaps next episode, we do West Ham and Southampton. Then I would do the 3-game episode again, but there's 2 games in between. So I think it's probably better to split it in 2. That Southampton game is going to be huge in the grand scheme of things. So of course, they're just above us in the table, which is huge. And then I think West Ham and I suppose Crystal Palace is going to have to be the next one after that, because the Stoke game is kind of boring. Crystal Palace fighting for relegation, so that could be fairly interesting. And of course, Crystal Palace are our bogey team at the moment. We've not beaten them for 4 games, so hopefully on camera we could just perhaps try and get revenge on them. So I think that's what we'll do. West Ham Southampton next time. West Ham Crystal Palace the episode after that. So if you've enjoyed today's episode then, we've got through to the semi-finals of the Europa League, which is incredible, especially for Little Lincoln City. Hammer time on 44 goals now, by the way. I did mention he scored quite a few. 44 now, with 20 assists as well. He's on fire this season. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco.